welcome to the Craft House Magic podcast. I'm Ellie Jones and this is episode 12. Can you believe it? Episode 12. I had to go and check to see what number I was on because I could just not believe it was episode 12 already. So today is Sunday the 26th of February. Back in time here. And my name's Ellie Jones, if you're a new viewer. So I'm here in Norwich in Norfolk, and it's actually been a little bit sunny today, which is absolutely brilliant. So if you want to find me on Instagram and Ravelry, I'm Craft House Magic, and I also have my website called crafthousemagik.co.uk, and you can find links to my other social media sites on there, as well as my Etsy shop, because we all know how difficult it is to search shops on Etsy for some reason. It's crazy. So, sock challenge. Thanks so much to everybody who's entered. Don't forget to put your finished objects in the finished objects thread, which is now open. We've got loads of entries already, so go and have a look at the lovely socks that we've got up there. It's a bit annoying not being able to comment on the lovely socks that have been entered because it is a prize thread, but I've clicked love for all the lovely socks that are on there, so hopefully you'll see that I've had a look and appreciated all your hard work you've been putting into them. So don't forget, we've got 3 prizes for the giveaway for the winner. So I'll do a random number generator for the numbers from the thread, and I'll pick a winner. We've got 3 prizes. So we've got the Knitterarium voucher. She does lots of, Ruth. Ruth does lots of lovely shawl designs, and she's about to bring out a sock pattern. So you could effectively use the voucher for that. You'll be able to choose whichever pattern you like the best. And Ruth's got loads out, so that's lovely. We've also got some lovely mini skeins from Fondant Fibre from Deb. It's really beautiful mini skeins, and it comes with some lovely soap to wash your socks in, knitwear, and some lovely lip gloss as well. And don't forget, I'm putting in a voucher for myself for my shop, which comes to the value of one of my bags and notions pouches and DPN cases with progress keepers. But you don't have to choose that, you can choose whatever you like. It'll come to the same value. So don't forget to put your entries into the finished objects thread, and the finished objects thread will be closed at 7 o'clock on the 28th of February, so make sure you've got your entry in before then. I will draw a winner, and then for those of you who win, or for the person who wins the voucher for my shop, I'll be doing a shop update on the 1st of March, so you'll have a nice little choice there of different things. I'll talk a little bit more about my shop update at the end of the podcast, in case you're not really interested in that sort of thing. I'll pop it at the end. And today we've got knitting, sewing, bobbin lace, and some confessions. Oh dear, I just cannot stop myself, can I? It just gives me so much pleasure though. Right, so if we'll start with the knitting things first. So first of all, I normally start with finished objects, but I haven't got anything finished this week. Absolutely unacceptable, isn't it? I need to knit more. I have got lots of work on a few of my works in progress though, so I'll show you those. So first of all, you can see my lovely Mercury socks. So, beautiful, love this yarn. So the yarn is Peggy May yarns. And it is in the Frosty the Snowman colourway. And if I go a bit closer, you can see the beautiful colours. You can actually see the colours a little bit better in the stocking stitch section here. Absolutely gorgeous. So as I said, these are the Mercury socks. So I've basically stuck to the pattern, except for I've added the Eye of Partridge heel just at the bottom there, just because I like the texture it gives. Nice, and it also reinforces it as well, so that's really good. Oh, look at those colours, beautiful. You can see the little pops of blue that are coming out there. I'm sure you could get hold of this if you got into contact with Diane from Peggy May Yarns, even though it's a Christmas colourway. I'm sure she'd do you a special deal. I haven't actually looked, she may have it on her website still, but I love this. So I haven't finished my first sock yet of this pattern, but I really am enjoying this lacy section, and it's quite nice to be able to sort of steam through this stocking stitch section at the bottom. So they're lovely, and you can see the yarn I've got in the ball, the little grey pops and the blue. I have showed this on the last episode, so you've seen them before. So that's work in progress number 1. Second work in progress, I hadn't started on the last episode. Just have a sip of my tea. Look, I haven't broken my mug yet. Oh, just to mention, today I'm drinking some coconut truffle tea from Whittard, which is like a tea shop that's in the UK, for those of you who are. It's a loose leaf tea, so I had a little tea strainer in there, which is cute. I should have brought it up to show you, maybe next time. Sorry, it's thirsty work, this podcasting. Right, so second work in progress. I hadn't got on the needles in the last episode. Now this is a pair of socks. And I've actually done most of the socks already. If those of you who've seen my Instagram account, I put a picture of these socks, and basically I'm doing the Afterthought Everything sock, and it's by Erica Kempf Broughton, and I showed a picture of this big tubular sock together, and I've actually split them now for the next part. So you knit it as one, and then I won't give any more details because it's a paid for pattern, but it then allows you to do the other bits afterwards. But she's got some really nice tips in the pattern, so it's worth buying, and it's only a couple of pounds, so really affordable too. So I've split my socks off onto 2 sets of needles. So originally I just had them in one, and I've just used a second pair of my 2.5mm higher sharp circular needles so I can carry on with the toe with the both concurrently. Right, so the yarn is how can I forget? Drops Fable, and the colourway is 911. I don't know if there's an actual name for the colour, but it's really pretty, lovely pinks, reds and greens. And you might remember I showed this a few podcasts ago, and my friend Liz, who is a non-knitter, bought me these for my birthday. So I was really, really impressed. Well, not these, but the yarn for my birthday. So I was really impressed with the colour choices. She always picks lovely things, my friend Liz. So thank you, Liz, if you're watching. Not that she'd watch my podcast, because she's not crafty in any way, but just in case. So I'm really enjoying the fact that I can do the complicated bits later. So I was able just to whip it out and just do a bit of straight knitting in the car or just at work, just much easier. So even though the Mercury socks are quite a simple pattern, just for work, when I don't really have to look at my work, I like to do a stocking stitch. And because these are Afterthought Everything, it's brilliant because I can just do knit straight without having to deal with any complicated bits in the middle till the end. And that's really fun. So I always have to have a stocking stitch sock, just because sometimes I just can't face doing the lace if I'm talking to people at work. Not good. So that's those. So I've just got to do the Afterthought bits now. I won't tell you about it too much because it's a paid for pattern. So that's work in progress number 2. Work in progress number 3. Now, I said in the last episode that I'd really try and finish this for the end of February. It is just not going to happen. Too much is going on this month. So this is my G shawl. And it's not pronounced correctly because I haven't checked on Ruth's podcast because I'm absolutely rubbish. I think it's called the Gainham or something like that shawl, and it's one of Ruth's lovely shawl patterns. And I have done from the little sock progress keeper to the top here since the last podcast, and I've done about 4 repeats of the pattern, and I've got 16 in total, so I'm about quarter of the way. So I'm not doing too badly, I'm getting there slowly. So it's a lovely, nice, intuitive pattern that Ruth's designed. So Ruth's called Knitterarium on Ravelry. And you'll be able to find lots of her lovely patterns there. So this yarn that I'm using is the Bobby Blue colourway in the Malabrigo lace, and I've showed you this a couple of times. So I've used, this is a full skein, so I haven't used that much actually. I bought 3 skeins of this just in case, but I might only use 2, depends. I'll have to see. I'll let you know how I get on. So it's really is a pretty texture on this. Really lovely. And I don't know if I need to block it out very much, because it really does, you can see the texture in the stitches without really pulling it out very much, so that'll be lovely. Nice, soft, really lightweight shawl for the summer, because effectively in the UK you're never really that warm, are we? So that's 3 works in progress. I haven't made any more progress on my other shawl that I've cast on, which I haven't showed you in ages. I'm going to not cast any more shawls on until I've got another one off the needles. I'm banning myself from casting things on. But I'm allowed 2 pairs of socks. It's okay. I think it's allowed. So those are all my works in progress at the moment. I'll tell you about some plans for knitting when I come to the confessions section. So next I'm going to talk about sewing. So I've been working on a wearable muslin for my wedding dress. So I'd got the pattern, the Vogue pattern, which is a V2788, I think. Yep, V2788. And it's got a nice simple V-neck, princess seams, and basically it just comes out from just under the bust area, so it's flattering for the larger figure, hopefully. What it is, it makes me look slimmer, which is always good. So I finished my wearable muslin. It looks a little bit creased now because I've just had it hanging on a hanger, and my boob's sticking out. It looks awful. I do apologise. It looks a bit rude showing you the boob area. So this is a pink taffeta I've used for the outside, and then I've lined it just in a cheap blue lining material, just because it was very cost effective. The actual taffeta itself, I picked a very affordable material. I think it was about £5 a metre. I can't quite remember how much I bought. Might have been about 3 metres, I think. No, I bought 3.5 because I actually had quite a lot extra from what I needed, and I ended up making a couple of different top parts up here just to get the fit perfectly right. So it really does fit the bust area really well now. I did the curtain version of my muslin that I mentioned in the last episode. But I'm really pleased with how this fits, so I'm so glad I did a wearable muslin. It was really good to make one where I put all the lining in and everything, because it did take a little bit extra space being lined, even though it's only a very thin lining material. So some of the areas of the inside I've had to hand sew the lining down just to finish it off, so that took me a little bit of time. And I overlocked the edge of the dress itself. This is the underskirt, but I hand sewed around the edge just so you couldn't really see the stitches around the edge there. Just a little bit creased, sorry about that. It's not ideal showing you it on the podcast. So it is fully lined, the skirt as well, with the blue lining material, and I made it with a good seam allowance inside, so that effectively if it did turn out to be too small I could make it a bit bigger, but it's fine, so I'm really pleased. One thing I didn't like about the dress, this sort of fold over zip was the one that they suggested in the pattern, but I'm actually going to do an invisible zip on the final piece just because I think it looks neater. I haven't had a lot of experience with these sort of zips, so I think my practice with invisible zips is much better, so I'm going to do that. There are some pictures that are better on Instagram with me actually putting it on my dressmaker's dummy. It's not ideal showing you here really. Oh, I need to show you as well, there's quite a cute little sort of ruffle at the back on the skirt that'll actually, once I've made a full length version of the dress, it'll just make it really open out lovely. So what I forgot to really mention, I think properly on the last episode, is that this muslin, wearable muslin version of my dress is a shorter one, so it just goes past my knee, but for the final dress I'm going to do it full length with a trail. But I didn't want to use loads and loads of fabric just to get the fit really, and I wanted this to be able to wear on my hen do when we go for afternoon tea, which is very posh and ladylike. So that's my wearable muslin finished. So I hope to get the pieces for my my main wedding dress cut out as soon as possible, maybe this afternoon. But I also have 2 bridesmaid dresses to make. So I've got 4 bridesmaids, and my older bridesmaids I managed to get hold of some dresses that exactly what I wanted from Coast on sale in January, so that was really good. But for the 2 younger bridesmaids I just couldn't see anything that was right really, or would really match in with the other ones. So the older bridesmaids are wearing like a kingfisher blue colour, like a deep blue tealy mixture. Not a very good explanation. But the younger ones I'm going to have in like a pale ivory tulle with a sash that matches the older bridesmaid dresses as well, so that should be okay. I just haven't started those yet, but I've got the fabric, it's okay. I showed you a pattern a little while ago of the dress I'm going to do. I won't go and show it to you again, but when I've actually made some progress on those, I'll show you on the podcast on the coming episodes. I don't know if I'll get it done by the next one, but it'll either be my wedding dress or the bridesmaid dresses I'll be working on. Probably the bridesmaids, because I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to cutting into the really nice fabric for my wedding dress. So it's all good fun though, it's all good fun. And I'm really pleased that the actual wearable muslin fits really, really well. It's just so flattering on the bust area. So that's all my sewing. Is there anything else I wanted to mention? So I don't know whether I described to you, so I'm having my wedding dress in pale ivory as well, and I'm going to have satin underneath and a layer of tulle over the top for the whole dress, extra couple of layers of tulle on the skirt to make it sort of whimsical looking, I suppose, and then I'm going to have lots of lace detail on the top which will taper out into the skirt, hopefully. So, and I'm going to have a little cap sleeve. So this wearable muslin, I didn't do the little cap sleeve, but I'm going to do a lacy sort of tulle cap sleeve on that just to flatter the arms a little bit better. So for the wearable muslin, what I'll be doing is wearing a small little bolero cardigan over my arms to cover the voluptuous figure. We need to be positive about these things, don't we? So that's all the dressmaking covered. So still on wedding theme, I've been doing lots more of my bobbin lace petals. They are actually very, well, they're basically the same as what I've shown you before, and I've just got 2 here to show you. And this is what they look like when they've just come off the bobbin lace cushion. An utter mess. So you can see these pieces of wire stuck out the bottom and lots of trailing pieces of thread, and I'll cut these off here, and these ones at the bottom will be woven into the flower. So this is what the finished flower looks like, which I have shown you before. This is what I've shown you before, but I've made enough of these petals. So these are 2 of the styles that I use, and then there's a third one which goes in the centre of the flower, which you can't really see how detailed it is when it's actually in the flower. Oh, I haven't got one out to show you, but there's a section of a different type of lace in the centre there. So I've basically got 8 of these petals to go, which is getting close. I've done all the complicated ones, which are the centre petals, and I've got 8 of these, or 6 of those and 2 of those to go, to be able to finish the ones I want to make. So I think I spoke to you in maybe 3 episodes ago, I can't remember, but I was talking about doing a big bouquet for myself to go with my dress. Now when I'd actually planned to do these bobbin lace flowers, I was thinking about having a silver wedding dress so that the white would go quite nicely. However, over the Christmas period, I went and tried some wedding dresses on in a wedding dress shop just to have a go, see what the styles would suit me, and just to see, you know, you've got to go and try wedding dresses on. Have your mum come with you. Mum loved it, and I decided that actually pale ivory would be better. Plus, it was really difficult to get hold of the right colour, sort of silver, or if I did decide to have blue. Originally, I thought blue would be good, but then I decided silver, and now I'm on pale ivory. And I bought the fabric, so I can't change my mind. Excuse me. So I'm going to do, instead of using these flowers for the bouquet, because white, this is very white, would sort of not look very, it wouldn't go with the pale ivory that I'm going to be using for the actual dress. I'm going to use these as buttonholes for the three, well, the groom, my dad and Adam's dad, who's the best man as well. So 3 of them will be used for that. Then I'll have 2 that are used for the adult bridesmaids for the corsages. They didn't want lots of bouquets to carry, so I thought a nice little corsage would be nice on their wrist, and then they get to take something home lovely. So, well, I hope they think it's lovely. And then the last one will be used for the cake, so that's 6 flowers altogether. So that I don't have to make too many. I did think originally for my bouquet that I'd need to make at least 15, and it just would have taken far too long, because they take at least 20 hours, maybe, well, about 20 hours to do 1 flower, and it's putting the flowers together as well and just repeating the same flower over and over again. It's not the most fun thing to do. I think 6 is enough. But I still get to put a bit of my bobbin lace into the wedding, so that's good. Sorry about all this wedding talk. It's terrible. I'm talking about it constantly to everybody, and I bet all my friends are really fed up. Right, what's next on my list? Oh, what I was going to mention as well, for the bobbin lace, what I have done is I videoed myself making 1 petal, and I'll show a little bit at the end so you can see what I'm doing. I'm not quite sure whether you can see much of my hands. If not, I'll do another version in the next video so you can see what it's like exactly. I'm hoping as well to do maybe sort of towards the end of the year, do some short videos of how to do bobbin lace, just to get people started, because I know that not everybody's got any bobbin lace groups around them, which is, it's really sad really, but it's nice to keep the tradition alive, and it's so lovely to collect those bobbins. So that's bobbin lace covered. So nextly, I've made a new word up. We've got a blast from the past, and I thought I'd show you my little mittens that I'd knitted absolutely ages ago. So I absolutely love these buttons that I've put along the side. I was so proud of myself for finding these. They don't match exactly, they're just sort of odd buttons that I'd found, and they're starting to go a bit fuzzy, these gloves now, because I've worn them quite a lot. But this yarn was absolutely beautiful with the blues and greens and browns in there. I'll just show you one on. There we go. They're so cute. But that's my blast from the past for this week. So this pattern is called No Fuss Mitts by Amanda Burker, and they were knitted on 3.5mm needles in a 4-ply yarn, and the 4-ply yarn was Aslan Trends Santa Fe. But actually the pattern called for not 4-ply, double knit. But as I was early in my knitting career, well, not career, but you know, I just thought, oh, it'll be all right. But actually, even though I'm a larger lady, my hands are quite slim. So they worked fine. They worked out lovely. And I may well have changed my attention to what I used to be. I don't know. I'm tight now. I don't really know what I used to be like, because I never really had a chance to compare it to anybody. So there's my little mitts. Really pleased with those, and I still wear them. And we're on to gadgets next. So this week I've picked something that I absolutely could not live without. These are amazing. You've probably all got them anyway, and they're called Wonder Clips. There we go. You can see what they look like. They're blending in with my hand. So they're little clips, and you can basically use them for clipping your sewing together so that you don't prick yourself with pins. Which is always good, because I'm all the time stabbing myself with pins. Not on purpose, of course. I sound like a crazy person. Well, I am. It's always good. So these are very, very useful. I quite like to clip when I'm doing my little tabs on the end of my zips. I'll use those just to clip on the ends. Much easier than using pins all the time. I do use pins as well, but these are so useful. So I've got absolutely loads, just chucking around on the floor. So I've got absolutely loads of these. I've got a bucket full. I'll show you, hang on. You can hear everything jingling around. I've got a bucket full in my craft room. So this is one of those cylinders for, actually it's for cutlery from IKEA, and I've got it hooked on one of my bars. So I've got one of those bars over here as well. So I've got one there, and it's got this pot in with full of my wonder clips, absolutely jam-packed. And I need all of these. Oh dear. Can never have too many wonder clips. You can also get longer ones as well, which I've never really used because these are fine. These are perfect for what I need. So I definitely recommend a wonder clips. So that's my gadget for this week, this episode I should say. And we're on to confessions. Oh. There's just too much of this yarn going on. I think it was just before the last episode. I wasn't feeling very well, so I put an order into Hedgerow Yarns to make me feel better. But I might have done a second order since then. So these are the ones I bought. Am I showing you the labels correctly? These are Hedgerow Yarns. And this one is a full skein for socks, and this is a merino nylon sock base in the Sweet Pea colourway, and it's 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon with 425 metres. Look at those colours, beautiful. I love sweet peas, they're so pretty, and this really does look like sweet peas. And then I thought, I haven't got any Hedgerow Yarns mini skeins. So I bought these, and they're so pretty, like lovely little speckled ones. So I really need to knit some of those into my Cozy Memories. Unfortunately, I haven't done any to my Cozy Memories this week. It's just been crazy trying to get dresses done and getting fabric sorted for dresses and things for the wedding and other weddingy things. So that's the first part of my Hedgerow Yarns order. And then there was another update. So I need those. So these are two new colourways. This blue one is called Zen Garden, and I thought that this would be excellent for socks for Adam, because quite often I'll knit socks for Adam and they'll be in quite boring yarn, but this is beautiful. I don't know if I can face giving them away though. And now this one, so I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. It's Japer. I don't know if you can see. There we go. Japer? Maybe I'm being completely numpty and completely missing what that actually says. But this has got some really gorgeous tones of all different sort of colours. Pink, green, blue, brown. Like a mustard colour. And a brown tones in there as well. And I think this will probably be socks for me. I think these three will probably be socks. Although they're so pretty, I might have to work out what I can do with them in terms of knitting like a shawl or something, maybe. But socks are always a good thing. You can never have too many. So that's my Hedgerow Yarns order. I also got a lovely package from my friend who is Cassia, I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, from Rainbow Cloud Shop. So I'll just show you the label first. It's Rainbow Cloud Shop, and this is the, what's it called again? Secret Garden set of mini skeins. And look at these! So Cassia sent me this lovely set, and thank you for showing, to say thank you for showing 2 sets of her yarns on my podcast. I thought that was so sweet of her. I could give these away for a giveaway, but I just can't. I'll buy some more for one of the prizes. I don't need another prize just yet. It'll be fine. So there's a lovely green tones with blues little tiny bits of sort of brown tones. There's pink and purple, some like a beigey creamy colour, and then that sort of tone mixed in with some blues, and then the blues on its own. So that was really lovely. Thank you so much, Cassia. And I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I'm so rubbish at pronunciations, it's awful. I hope I'm not offending anybody. And then I've also bought some fondant fibre. So I bought another skein of Deb's Sea Holly. So I'd already bought a skein of this absolutely ages ago. So that's the skein I bought a while ago. And I'd bought these two at the same time. So this one's called Velvet Grape, and they're both in Deb's Hannah base, which is like a silk. So it's, I don't know what the percentage is. It's mulberry silk and merino, so it's really super soft. And I thought, oh, I could use this and make the Dine of the Light shawl. So I bought another skein, and I'm going to use these, obviously these two, there's more of these, so I'm going to have the big sections out of these two, and then the sections in between will be the Velvet Grape, and they are lovely. Look at those. Because they're a completely different batch, and it was blooming ages ago since I ordered them. This one is slightly darker than this one, but they are pretty close. So what I'll do is I'll just do one wedge in one skein and one wedge in another, so that you've just got a bit of a difference between the wedges, which is brilliant. So thanks, Deb, for being a lovely dyer. So I've got all that yarn, and I haven't done that much knitting, which is terrible. More knitting time, I think. Sorry, I keep sipping on my tea, it's rude. So I've got some books to show you as well. I've got such a massive pile of things here, just trying to stack it all up. So I went to a shop called The Works, and it's a UK shop that's absolutely everywhere, and they sell really good low-priced books, and I bought a few. There's quite a few here. So I got this one, and it's basically different pincushions, and there's so many cute different ones. I just had to have it. Not that I'm going to make them all, but they're so little inspiring and just make you smile when you see them. I'm just trying to find, this is one of my favourites out of here. And it's a little pea pod pincushion. How cute is that? It's absolutely so impractical, it's unbelievable. But I thought this would be quite practical. A big piece of cake, and then you could put loads of pins in that, and you could make it as big as you like, I suppose. But I thought that was a lovely bit of inspiration to get me doing a bit more sewing. And then I bought a lace book. I really like this top on the front with all the little beads on it. I thought that would be quite lovely. There's lots of sort of vintage patterns in this book. That's really sweet, that top there. That's really cute. So there's a couple of patterns that I thought were really nice, and the gloves that are on the front cover were really cute as well. That's something that I would be more inclined to knit, I think. And then I bought another lace book, because there's always room for lace. Lace is lovely. And I just thought this looked really nice on the front there. And then on the back you can even see there's a beautiful scarf. So there's a load of really nice lacy patterns in here. Just look at that, that's really sweet. So these books are all about £3 instead of their recommended retail price is £16.99. So absolute bargain. I could not resist. I'll try and rush through these because I've bought loads. So I also bought this sock art book, and it's basically different ferrule patterns. And what really attracted me was these. I should have put a bookmark in here. I really like the circles in this pattern, so I might do some little socks with stripes and circles in. That would be really lovely. And then lastly, just one more, I got Knit and Wrap. That's this one. And there was some really lovely cosy ones in here. I'll see if I can find a couple of my favourites. This actually looks a bit ridiculous, but I love it anyway. It's got these lovely little ribbons on. gorgeous. I'm sure there was another one here somewhere that actually looked a bit more wearable than that. I just love to look at that one. Oh, this one's quite cosy. It's like a cabled cowl. That's really pretty. Yeah, I'm just flicking away here. Oh, I think this was the one. I thought that this looked really elegant. That's really pretty. So I won't show you anymore. So that one's Knit and Wrap by Natalie Morneau. So I bought lots of books, but they were only £3 each. So I bought like half the shop. So I'm pleased about that. I've got lots of inspiration. Not that my bookshelf isn't full of inspiration already. Oh dear. And when I also bought a bag from the lovely Emma from Eldenwood Craft. It's got buried under my yarn. So I bought the larger, slightly larger version of the little notions pouch which she sent me in our little swap. And I just had to have a little sock bag to put my socks in. That's really pretty. I love these trees. They're absolutely gorgeous. So Emma's shop is on Etsy. It's called Eldenwood Craft. And you have to keep your eye out because the bags go crazy. They just take minutes to disappear. So if she says she's got an update, keep your eyes peeled. So thanks, Emma. That's lovely. And I think that's all my confessions. So we're down to the second to last section. This is Ask Me Anything. So I've got a Ravelry group open and we've got a thread saying Ask Me Anything. So you can ask me anything you fancy within reason. And I had a couple of questions. So we've got one from Atrinka on Ravelry. And she says, can I knit without looking at my knitting needles? Now I can do stocking stitch without looking at my needles, which is brilliant because I can watch a film and not look when I'm knitting. Hence the reason why I like to do the stocking stitch socks because I don't have to look what I'm doing. I can just knit away and watch a film or chat in a conversation and not have to look what I'm knitting at all, which is great. I can't do anything more complicated without looking. I can maybe do 2x2 rib just about, but not as easy as stocking stitch. Maybe one day I'll be able to knit lace or something without looking what I'm doing. Well, fingers crossed, you never know. Years and years of knitting, I might get that good. Hopefully not drop any stitches. So thank you, Atrinka, for that. And we've got a question from So Can Joe. Now, So Can Joe, I used to actually go to school with Joe, which is crazy. How many years ago was that? We won't talk about that. So hi, Joe. And she asked basically what my style of knitting was. So she was saying that she'd got issues with some like her tendons, so she had tennis elbow, and that she was desperate to start knitting again, and she wondered if she could get some tips on how to how I knitted so that she could improve her knitting technique so as not to hurt her elbows. So I've replied on the thread, but I'll explain how I knit anyway. So I flick as I'm knitting. I knit with the yarn wrapped around my finger, so I have it wrapped around this finger and then over the top of this finger so that I never let go, and I flick as I'm knitting. So I find that's quite comfortable. And when I'm knitting, I knit with my needle positioned like this rather than knitting over to the top as most people do. So I actually think that's a more comfortable way of knitting. When I was knitting with the 9-inch circular needles, when I did the socks on the last episode, I've actually made myself knit from the top of the work, and I found that it made my hands ache a lot more. It might be the fact that they were 9-inch needles, though, really, really short ones. But I do think that cupping the needle underneath my right hand does help me to knit for hours and hours without my fingers aching. I'll try and stick another little bit of a video at the end of the podcast of me knitting so that you can see a little bit better of my technique. But I have showed a little clip on previous episodes, but it can't hurt to stick another one. So thanks, Joe, for your question. I really hope that that's helped you modify your technique in order to not hurt your elbows. That's really horrible when you've got some sort of repetitive strain thing. Not good at all. So I think that's all my questions. So the last section is to tell you about my shop update on the 1st of March. So if you're not interested in that, see you next time, hopefully. I hope you enjoyed it. For those of you who are interested, I'm just going to run through a few of the things that I'm going to have in my shop. I have got a number of stitch markers that I'll be putting up there, some new ones, but I haven't brought them here to show you. But I've got some acorns, and some little dragonflies and some bee stitch markers that are not stitch markers, I should say progress keepers, because I always put the little lobster clasp on. But I won't show you those today. You can see those on my Etsy shop if you're interested. So as I'd seen, because I got this lovely bag from Emma from Eldenwood Craft, and I liked the smaller size a lot better, I did a version of my bag that's a smaller size too. So the first fabric that I'd use for this is wine bottles. So this bag is literally like a sock size. If I just pop a skein in there, you can see how big it is. So it fits 100 grams quite easily, but you could probably get 150 in there without too much trouble. But literally it's a sort of sock size bag, and I didn't put any little extra handles on there because I thought this is the sort of bag that you'd pop into a tote or something to take out on the go. So there's my little label in there, and I've always put little pockets inside because I find those really handy to pop in stitch markers or tape measures or something. So I've lined that one in green, and this one's got just a little stone, not stone but beaded progress keeper on this tab. I've got about 4 or 5 different styles, so bear with me. So this one I've used is a knitted fabric, and I've done a little, get it right way around, a little yarn and needles progress keeper. It's lined in blue, and this particular one's got the knitted pocket, but I have got some that have got the fabric to match this lining as well. I just thought it'd be fun to have a bit of that fabric inside. So these are all about the same size. I've also got this fabric with lovely sheep on it. I absolutely fell in love with this and had to have like several meters. And I've put a little sheep progress keeper on these. And I just lined it in nice white, clean white fabric with my label in the little pocket. I did do one just as a bit of a test with a dark grey bottom, just to see what it'd look like, but I've just done one of those. If it goes, if it's sold quickly, I might make some more. There we go. So that's white inside as well, same as the other one. Not too many left. So I found some really cute dragonfly fabric. It's like really like fairy-like sort of background, and I've got a little dragonfly progress keeper there with a green zip, and then I've done a blue lining to match the sort of colours in the fabric. And then I've done a couple of these larger size bags. Well, these are sort of my medium size. I'm just going to pop a few skeins of yarn in there so you can see. Or you can actually, there's 3 skeins in there now, and there's plenty of room. So they're a bit wider. They've got a handle on the side. I've got the same sort of sheep progress keeper to go with the sheep fabric. This is the same material as some of the smaller ones that I've got, but they're a little bit bigger, and they come with a DPN case with some poppers lined in white, and also a little notions pouch with a little progress keeper on as well. And they come with a little, I've tied it up, that's clever, just so that it'll make it difficult. So they come in a little organza bag with 3 little progress keepers that are the sheep as well, because it's a sheep bag. And this is just a little piece of card in a butterfly shape because I thought it was really cute to keep them all together, lovely. So that would be a kit. So I've got a couple of these as well, well, more than a couple, in this fabric, but this style, this larger style. I gave away one of this size bag, but in this material, which I haven't got here to show you, sorry. I'd be showing you even more things if I brought it as well. But I gave away one of this size bags for my 1,000 subscriber giveaway prize on Instagram. So thank you for so much to everybody who put a comment and tagged somebody else in on the Instagram feed, and we had a lovely winner, and it's bags by Diane. So congratulations, Diane. I've already sent your parcel out, so you know you've won. So that was really nice. What I'll do is at the next, if I reach 2,000, that would be amazing, I'll do another bag giveaway, so that to say thank you to you guys for watching me. That's lovely. So I think that's all my shop update stuff. I'm sorry I have rambled on a little bit about my bags, but I thought I wanted to get plenty of stuff up there so that you'd have a choice whoever the winner is for the sock challenge. So there's quite a lot of bags I've put up there. I might have, I've got a couple of days before the shop update, I might make 1 or 2 more of some different fabric of this larger size, so you've got a bit more of a choice. Well, it's medium sort of thing. I do a bigger size one, but I haven't made any of those for this shop update. But I thought that these smaller little bags are a bit more affordable as well, and they're so cute. So I think that's everything. Thank you so much for watching and putting up with my ramblings about my shop, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye!